Hello everybody, I'm sorry I was a few minutes late because Whisper. Because, of course, even if I wanted to take him out half an hour before I started, he didn't want to go. But then 3 minutes before I was supposed to click start, he wanted to go. So I had to wait for him, and I also have... Normally at this time of the day they are sleeping, but now they are all... So hello Helena, hi Sharon, hi Sonia, hi Beth, hi Judy, hi Donna. Okay. Can you hear me well? Because everything on my end looks good. Hello. Okay, so because it's summer and because it's so pretty out and all that, I decided to, let me get this out of the way, to start a little bit of a, like a mini series with flowers, because I know everybody likes flowers. And I know that they are flower canes per se, but... I forgot to bring my... I'll have to get up here in a second. But also if you want to make realistic flowers or miniature... Hi, Teresa. That's so awesome to see you here. Or miniature flowers. You still need to do the canes for petals most of the time. And... because, yeah, of course, you can do them in one single color and then paint them, but it's so much trouble. So I thought of showing you how... let's start with the peonies. And I'm going to start practically first with stuff that I have in my garden. For the simple reason that we can actually... check the real deal, right? And see how we can do it. I have my red, because I have red ones. These ones are a dark fuchsia kind of color, but my reds didn't bloom this year, and I think it's because I was supposed to divide them last fall before winter and I didn't. So there's a bit too many branches there, and that whole bush is kind of packed to compact. So only these ones have bloomed, and a lot of them were really affected by the big winds we had. So hi Helen, I said already. Hi Randy, hi Sunny Lion. Now there are a few things when you're doing any kind of flower, practically not, but most, like 99% of the flowers, you need to mix, if you want them to look pretty and to look realistic, you kind of have to mix on top of the colors of the flowers. Hi Golden, hi Cinnabon. You need to mix two other things in your, when you prepare your colors. One of them is translucent, because flower petals have a little bit of translucency. And the other thing is a little bit of pearl, be it mica powder, be it a pearlescent clay or something. And why is that? Because, and I'm going to try and get, now this is one of the colors that my camera always switches a little bit, but I'm going to try and refocus the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Because of all those little cells that the petal is made out of, that are practically full of water, right? When the light hits them, there is a pearlescent component, And you can see this, it's less noticeable in white flowers, but very noticeable in red and tones of red flowers. See how it does have pearlescent quality. And because of that, it's a good idea to actually use a little bit of pearlescent. The other thing is, in the case of this specific penny, it looks like it's one color, but in fact it is not. If you look very carefully, you can see that there are very slight differences in the colors, but they are there. And if you want to make something that would look realistic, then you need to take that into consideration. So no matter what, you will have to make a cane. Okay, hi Susan, hi Anastasia, hi Maria, hi Cecile, hi Caroline, hi Chris, hi Shari, hi Liana, hi Judith. Yeah, it's actually a deep fuchsia, honestly. The way it is, I'm amazed it doesn't, my camera doesn't make it even pinkier, because it's got issues with red and pretty much this kind of colors. So where's mine? Because I know I put it here. I lost my translucent. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to start, but you don't have to make these specific colors. I'm going to show how to make something similar to this. And I said I need to get something, and I need to turn the AC down one notch. And if you look among the tools in my Amazon Influencer store, you'll see that I did put there tools that are actually used in sugar craft, but they can be used in polymer clay crafting as well, and they are really, really good if you want to get realistic results, to get all those petal definitions. And another thing that I can tell you, to obtain the veins, if you make the flowers more miniature-y, you've seen how I do the veining using the creases on the palm of my hand. You don't really need a veiner, but otherwise just get yourself excuse me, just get yourself a rose or a poppy. This one is a poppy veiner, and you can use it for all kinds of flowers, because most flowers will have some kind of veining. Now there are, and I'm going to have a giveaway soon with a full set of these that my best friend got several of. There was a sale, so I'm going to do a giveaway. Let me show you. I just need to find the reason for the giveaway, so we'll see. Whatever, likes or subscribes or something. And this is going to be the giveaway, and it's a full set of these. As you can see, it's in a pretty, I think that they are like $20-something on Amazon if you find them. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I took some Mucinex this morning and it's drying my throat out. So as you can see, it's a full set of stuff for Sugarcraft that can be used for polymer clay, or if you want to do Sugarcraft, you can do Sugarcraft. Honestly, I've been very sorely tempted to do Sugarcraft again. It's enough for me to watch one single video of somebody doing Sugarcraft and I'm like, okay, I need to do something like that. I used to do a lot of cake decorating in my spare time when I was working. Okay, so look, soon you're gonna have this as a giveaway. But as I was saying, and another thing that you can find, let me actually see where I put them, because I'm not sure exactly what section. I think they might be in the miscellanea. Give me just a second. I think, because the other thing that you can get are these artificial stamens. I showed you before in one of the poppy, I think the poppy brooch, how to make these just with sewing thread and a little bit of acrylic. But if you want to get them already made and not worry about, let me see, is it in the miscellanea? No, but be careful, because I have a section that says tools, and then I have another section that says sculpting tools, and I'm going to add all this in the sculpting tools section to be more, you know, precise. Yeah, it is very bright. Finally here there is no more wind, no more storm, no more, because it was driving me nuts. We had like 3.5 days. Yes, they are good. So what I'm going to do to try to replicate that color, because I might have to add a little bit of red, but let's see how it comes out. I'm going to use the what is this? Is it this one, the sunset? I always mix the two colors like this. Give me just a second to look, not to give you wrong. Okay, clay. Okay, no, it's magenta pearl. Okay, not the sunset, it's the magenta pearl. And then some alizarin crimson. And then some violet. Yeah, you're in the southern hemisphere. Hi, Marietta, Selena. Who did I miss? Caroline. Judith, Maria. I hope I didn't miss anybody, and because I can get a little bit confused when I'm trying to go on several things at the same time. And I'm going to use this. This is also a mat for making Sugarcraft flowers. And why you might want to get one of these, I cannot believe that I did not make a special flowers. I thought I did. Maybe I thought I did and I ended up not doing it. I'm gonna make it right after I finish the live. No, I did. It's in Veiners. Let me see. It's towards the end. There's a special one with Veiners, and I'm going to add change the name to flowers, and then add the sculpting tools as well as the mat, because right now there's only 2 kits that have mats. Now, the thing is that if you get cutters, hi Mihaela, hi Gail, which brand what? Which brand are what? The clay, the cutters, the what? You can get penny cutters, but these would be for pretty much real size flowers. So unless you want to make a real size flower, and I was thinking, I don't know how much time I'm gonna have, might not happen real soon because I'm working on things. I'm finally starting to catch up a bit. Yeah, they are all primo. Hi Francis. So if you don't want to do something realistic, you're gonna just have to do by hand the cutting. And of course I brought an ant in the house too with a flower. And just a regular, you know, little petally thing. And what I was thinking the way the penny flower is, you could easily make a miniature jewelry box because of the way the penny flower is constructed, with the larger petals on the bottom of the flower, you know, and then the smaller petals getting all roughly on top. You kind of can put the bottom petals on the bottom of the box and then make the lid all those roughly feathers. I think it would look real pretty, don't you think? So anyway, this is, I know that I got a set of 3 of these, and they are like regular big size, and I just cut it in pieces. So 2 colors I might have to add, but I have first to see how it is. I might have to add a bit of red and a bit of white. So for now, let's just go ahead and do this. Now, always when measuring, I have to show this because a lot of not caught up in a ram. There's a lot of people who haven't seen my live before, or a lot of my tutorials, so that's why I always explain. Hi Tia Lisa. I think that actually Cernit has a color like this. Give me just a second. Oh, I thought I had the Clay Factory. Hold on, give me just a second, because I don't know. There are so many colors by so many, darn it, by so many brands that okay. And I think that I saw it in the opaline. Yes, it is in the magenta opaline. It's very, very so in the Cernit opaline, the magenta opaline is very, very similar to this. You can add just a touch of the violet, but otherwise you're pretty good. And another color that you can use for pennies, of course, it's white, and then you can use the carnation, the flesh is very, the pink you can use it, but in my opinion it's a little bit too bright pink, you know. So let me see, in the number 1 there's also a color. Where is the number 1? Regular colors. I know that number 1 also has something similar, the carmine. It's very similar to this. You might have to add a touch of the violet again, and it does have Let me see. It does have as other colors to make pennies. You can use the vanilla, it's a pretty good color, and English rose pink. That's a much better pink for pennies than the pink of the opaline. Much better. Okay. Yeah, this one is Helena, this one is pearlescent, the magenta pearl. And that's why I chose it, because remember I just said that it's a good thing to add a little bit of mica powder or a pearl. Okay, so you always, in order to measure, you always have to have all your clay on the same thickness. The thickness doesn't matter. You can get it on the thickest or on the thinnest setting. But as long as all the clay is on the same thickness, it doesn't matter. Then you cut with the same cutter, the same cutter size, the same cutter overall. It doesn't matter the shape of the cutter or the size of the cutter, as long as you use the same cutter for all the clays. I personally prefer this one. It's a 1.5 inch square cutter, and it makes it easier for me to, when I have to do a quarter of something or an eighth of something or something, you know, it makes things much easier to measure for me. So let me get 2 parts of this pearl. I might have to add some more, so I'm just going for it. Now the violet is a quite strong color, so I'm not going to add a lot of it. Just get this one. So this time I'm going, so I have 2 parts of the magenta pearl. So I'm cutting 1 part, and then I'm going to use 1/4 to start with. If I need to use more, I'll cut more, but for now I'm going to use 1/4 and then keep 1/4 just in case. The alizarin crimson, I'm going to use it mostly to kind of vein. Hi Bertie. I'm going to mix just a touch of it, the same as with the violet, but I'm going to keep a little bit to vein in the cane. So again, 1 and I'm going to keep a half here. 1/4 I will mix, 1/4 I will keep just in case. And then some translucent. I had a lot of translucent that got a little bit too tough. So one of these is pretty much, this is pretty much one of these squares. So use about 1/4 of the total. Yeah, thank you. 1/4 of the total use. So like here I have 1, 2.5, right? So a quarter of this would be about 3/4, let's say. So this would be almost that. You can use more or less, it's fine. Just don't use too much because you don't want your petals to be too transparent. The penny is not super transparent. And then I'll show you a little trick that you can do when you do the mixing total. So I went about, what, 7 times through the machine with them like that, and now I'm going to do a thin one. What? Finnegan wants attention. Where are you squeaking at? I don't know if you heard him. He squeaks, he doesn't meow. Where are you squeaking? So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to start to mix it faster. So obviously at this point I need a more violety reddish thing, and actually I think I'm going to grab a touch of ultramarine. Because I want that pretty, I hope I have ultramarine here, yeah. Not a lot, just a touch. This is not ultramarine. I think I might have to get some. This is the navy. Just a second. I didn't realize I was out of it. What are you doing there? Finnegan is in his litter box. For some reason he's protecting his litter box. Hey, hey, get out. Finnegan, get out. Yeah, I know. But you're not supposed to be in the closet. Get off. Yes, I know. I know. He's kind of miffed at me. Because he wanted to see what's in the closet and I didn't let him. Hi, Carol. Yeah, generally speaking, when you get clay, what you're interested in is to get the primary colors and then a ton of black, white, and translucent. Because if you have the primary colors, and if they are true primary colors, then you can make whatever color you want. And pretty much all the big brands, they have a color scheme on their website. Okay. So think I'm gonna use half of this. Let's see how we are. See, I already got them much better mixed by simply sandwiching them. Just trying to mix them faster. Okay, so at this point we are almost there, but not yet. So what I'm going to add is 1/2 of red and it's going to be pomegranate red, which I hope I have. I don't have to go for it anymore. Yes. There we go. Oh, come on, get out. Another small one. And then I'm gonna add that other 1/2 of ultramarine. So a whole part of pomegranate. And the other 1/2 of ultramarine, and then I should be pretty much at that exact color of the penny. But as I said, if you have the Cernit more available in your area, as I already said, there's already an opaline and a number 1 that are pretty much the color that you need. Okay, let's hurry it up a little bit more. And then get it a few more times through the machine. Okay, so now we are pretty much there. One thing that I meant to tell you, on my Pinterest, and the link is in the video description always, but on my Pinterest, I have all kinds of color boards, and I have a big color mix recipes, and I have that I gathered from all over the place, and I have a big board that's got all the colors, but then I also separated into red color mixes, green color mixes, yellow color mixes, so you can find it there, and it's including metallics and pearlescents. And if you're not that good with reproducing a color that you see, just go there. Most of the colors are made with Primo, okay? But if you just go and check there, this one would be, for example, let me give you the link in the chat on the red color mixes. And Cater's Acres has a bunch of colors, but it would be Sparkling Berry. I don't know, I have 3 of them, but if you scroll down a little bit, it would be the Sparkling Berry. Is exactly what you want to obtain. And the Sparkling Berry is, let's see, Winter Bloom, but does she give it? Winter Blooms, where's the Winter Blooms? Sparkling Berry, let's see. So 3 parts fuchsia, 1 part ultramarine blue, and 1 part pearl. So to this you'd have to add some translucent. Okay, this would be the color that's the closest to this, and it is because you need a little bit of pearlescent in. Now, getting back to this, remember that we do have pearlescent in it, and if we want to obtain those very microscopic, pretty much, veins there, those can be very easily obtained by mica shift. Clay never goes bad unless it was half baked. If it is kept at too high temperatures, it starts baking, and then yeah, it's bad. Anybody who says clay went bad, they don't know how to condition it. Sorry to say that. But if you remember when I did the there was a tutorial I did on conditioning Pardo, and I actually showed one clay that was like 15 years old. I had it around the house and it conditioned just fine. But pretty much each clay has its own things, and it can become super dry, and you can still do it either by using a mini chopper or by using one of those never need machines, which, by the way, there's still a never need machine that never got claimed with the Imagine contest. So I guess I should put it up for grabs. Yeah, when it gets super dry, it's gonna need a lot of how do you call it? See, I'm having pretty bad brain farts today for some reason. The softener. And by the way, whenever you use softener, always use the liquid. In my experience, the liquid was always better than the stuff that looks like clay. Now, except for Pardo, never put softener in Pardo. Pardo only needs to be warmed up. So, yeah, I have a couple bricks of translucent that I need to TLC. All right, now as I said, I was going to try this, the veining with this, but I don't think I need it. I think that the pearlescent is going to do a perfect job by itself. Okay, I have a Finnegan here. Yeah, Finnegan is at a very weird stage right now because he turned 7 months old on the 1st, and he started growing his adult hair now. So he's got spots in which he's got his adult hair up, and spots where he still has his baby fuzz. So he looks funny, except for his tail. His tail is, oh my god. Hi Gayleen, I'm sorry. Do you feel better? Did you get the COVID-19? I hope not. Okay, so I mixed it really good at this point, and I'm going to get it through the pasta machine until I get that mica sheen. Okay? Okay, now at this point I'm going to cut and stack. What kind of test did you have? Because I heard that a lot of these tests have quite a high false negative. Did you have that one that's 15 minutes or the regular one? So I'm very careful to have all the clay in the same direction. I'm going to flatten it a little bit more. And then flip it over, because always when you have something stacked, the layer on top is going to have the tendency to widen before the layer on the bottom. Okay, so I flattened it a bit. I'm going to cut again and stack, and then I'm going to flatten it, because what I want all these little lines here to become thinner. Yeah, so that took probably anywhere from 3 to 7 days to come back, huh? I don't know, I still find it super scary. But then with all the issues I have, that's not something I need. Okay, and the last one, I'm going again to cut it in 4 and stack. And this time I'm going to be very gentle and pretty much get it, because I don't want to make a super big one, right? Next day, that's a new one. Usually the ones up the nose take forever. Now remember that I stack like this, so now I am extending the cane like this, so when I cut a slice it will have the lines. Because when I do this, it's only the mica particles on the edges that will get. I am veining, by the way, happy birthday, Colleen. I am veining, mica shift veining the petal. Okay, now I can make it a little bit more on this side, a little bit longer than wider. The thing when you have, remember that I showed you how to make in one tutorial mica shift canes, and the thing is that whatever you have left over you can just reuse. There's no problem about that. Okay, so I'm not going to use the real size. Going to actually use this little rose petal. Okay, now let me grab what I did with the, there we go. Okay, and I can use the ball stylus without a problem. And then I'm going to use this one to create better ruffleness, if you want. So my first thing will be to cut slices. And I'm going first so this will be, these are the inside petals, okay? And as I said, you can use a veiner, a general veiner like a poppy, or this is a poppy, or a rose. And then I am going to use this to cut, because I'm gonna make a smaller penny, not one that's, as I said, not one that's completely real size and color. And now I need to do a little bit of, because you see how, and I have more, you see how the petals on the penny are, they are a little bit interrupted and cut and ruffled here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first do a few cuts, and then I'm going to use this to give it extra ruffle. And that's why I said something like this is very important. If not, you can try and use a cosmetic sponge, only that the cosmetic sponge will give some texture a little bit. And you can even use this other one to give it. And there we go, we have the top one. Oops, of course I had to freaking drop it. And get it all full of Finnegan here. Okay, so we got one that is the kind that we need, and I'm going to work a little bit faster now so we don't stay here forever. Just make sure that you cut fairly thin slices. Okay, this one is not good. Not good. Okay, so let me make these. Yeah, I know, but you know, sometimes this whole no strength in my hand can get really irritating. So you want to go over the slice. You can see that I cut them very thin. Don't go through the pasta machine because you're gonna move the mica particles around too much. But you want to go over the slices with your bowl stylus to thin it out, to thin out the hole and give it a little bit of ruffleness. And there's another tool in the flower sculpting tools that ruffles, and I'll show it to you here in a minute. And it's up to you which of them you want to use. And it might look like, oh, I can do the same effect with the bowl stylus. No, you can't. Trust me, I tried and tried and tried, and it's not coming up the same. See, this one I cut it a little bit thicker, so now I'm thinning it out. Okay. Next is veining it some. And you can use your roller over it if you want to. If your hands are not very strong the way that mine are. It's just that it depends how rich you want your penny to be. You can make it richer or not so rich with the petals in the middle. I mean, even on the same plant, the flowers will not look exactly the same. I have on the same bush some flowers that have less petals and some flowers that have more petals. So it's up to you how you decide you want your flower to be. But I'm going to make quite a bit of ruffleness. Now what happened, because of the way I arranged and this is how I'm going to put them in. Because of the way I arranged and I stacked the clay, because it has pearlescent, it actually formed veining. I don't know if you're able, let me try and refocus the camera so you can see better that there is veining there. See? You can see the veining. There is exactly like on the real petal. It's like I had an iCat type of cane done, and that comes up simply by stacking the pearlescent because of the mica shift effect. This is why that thing appears. Okay, now next I'm gonna cut the petals. I was not lately in the mood to play my game, the Guild Wars 2, and then I got some notifications that, oh my god, there was a server messed up and people lost 3 days of playing, and I was like, aha! See, that's why I didn't play. I knew the server was going to crash. I'm just trying to rush a little bit because I would hate to. I'm nearing an hour and I have to interrupt this because of my stupid back. Okay, now let's do the little ruffling, and I told you there's another tool that does beautiful ruffling, and it's this one. I'll show you one of these days how to do a carnation using this and the specific kind of cutter. See how it ruffles it differently, but I'm going to still cut some and then use this one afterwards. And I broke it. That's fine. That's fine. That is just fine. So I'm going first with this to create my ridges. Then I can go with this one just a little bit to enhance the ruffleness. But then I do need this to extend a little bit. So see how one is pretty much sharp and the other one is flattened like a little spoon, and you want to use the flattened one to create that shredded ruffle feeling, because they do get the very tips of those petals, they do get almost shredded. Hi Joaquin. And if you want to create the bigger ruffle, so see I have 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna go on the back and I'm going to go between those 3. I'm going to go here and then here, and that's going to ruffle more. Bye. Yeah, kitties are really bad when it's about time to go to bed. My kitties used to be bad about that. Now I only have Finnegan, who if I dare to stay up past 9 o'clock, he will start throwing tantrums and squeaking, trying to squeak me to bed. So yeah, I guess the next flower we can do the carnation, because that's a very pretty flower, and that's one that I need to redo with the carnation cane. I need to redo it. Because I still have it with the old style of equipment taped, and it's not a very good quality video. And another ant. You can use, if you want, you can use the bowl stylus to do some ruffle if you don't have the other stuff, okay? But let me show you how. So let's say that you didn't have a veiner, you didn't have an anything. Thank you. So what you do, you go strictly here at the very edge. And then you go a little bit like this to make the clay kind of break a bit, to obtain those jaggedy ends that the Fernie has. So to put these together now, what you need to do, you can use a toothpick. Your best bet to do this, is to actually grab, have already baked a little core with a wire loop inside it. so that it wouldn't start moving back and forth once you start adding the petals, and it wouldn't get off the, because like if you use the toothpick, sometimes it just gets off the toothpick and then you have to rearrange it. But you can start exactly like for a rose, like when you do the rosebud, only that be careful and kind of ruffle it, pleat it if you want. Don't wrap it directly. Kind of need to fold, pleat it a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing here? You want me to go in a zoom? So, see, I'm going usually kind of like this, doing a double fold. And of course it's smaller than the real flower, but the effect is similar. And at this point you kinda can forget the, but let me get this away so you can see compared to the real flower. Does it look like it? And I'm gonna have to take a break, and we continue next time. I'm going to have all of these petals, because I'm going to make probably about 20 more petals and add them here and bake, so that I would have the core, because it needs to, you need to have the core baked, and we're gonna do a hair comb, because you need to have the core baked already in order to be able to attach it to the comb, so you don't mess up everything else. So if you want to keep up with me, so how many did I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So make about 30 petals for the core. And this is, I think I have it in the cutters. And Trish might have it. Let me check if Trish has it, because I know that she got some cutters like this, but I have it in the, you can find it in the Veiners, this cutter, and I think I have it in the cutter as well. Yeah, and I have it in the Veiners and it's not there anymore. Great. Yeah, unavailable. I'm gonna have to look for another one. Let me see if no, she doesn't have it. I'm gonna have to add it again, because the one that I had in the cutters is not there anymore. It's not. You can use the one that is for the orchids, but they don't have a smaller one on that one. The Fernie also isn't there anymore. I'm gonna have to get some other stuff, some new things, look for them. Unfortunately, all these that are from China, they do disappear quite often, so I guess I didn't look into this in the last month, so I started losing. But anyway, so I'm going to take care about this. Yeah, that one is awesome too. So remember, you'll have, for next time, you'll have to have this with about 30 petals added, and then to bake it so that it wouldn't get in any way messed up, grab some paper towel, or you can use batting, you know, fiber fill batting, and this is going to be much richer. So you just place it in the middle. If you want for it to stay put better, you can use a cutter, a round cutter, not this one. And you can just create a little nest here, like this, and then place your flower in the middle so that it will not flatten in any way when you bake it. But I need to go lay down a bit because my back started acting up. So hopefully it's going to, stuff is going to get better. Okay, thank you so much, and I shall see you next Sunday. If I feel good, I might hop in during the week, but it all depends on how I feel. Another ant, what the heck? Okay. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Goodbye, and thank you for being here. I love you all.